What's up, everybody? I'm Ash.
And I'm Beanie.
And today we're going over r/stories about Kevin. If you've never heard about this subreddit, it's basically just a bunch of stories about really stupid people. So without further ado, let's get on into it. Our first Reddit post is by Battling Dragon. Kevin gets banned from using tools. When I was in high school, freshman year 98-99, I had a woodworking class. We had several stations and workbenches to do our work at. One of them was a 20-inch bandsaw. For those of you who don't know what a bandsaw is, it's a loop of metal with saw teeth on one edge that gets spun at very high speed on two wheels. The teeth always face down, the loop comes back up through the part that supports the upper wheel. In first period one day, Kevin didn't know if the band was spinning or not. He decided to test it with his thumb. No.
Oh, no!
Band was spinning. He had to go to the hospital to get stitches. Came back later in the day, asked the teacher if he could stay a bit late to make up the time he lost. Teacher agreed. Kevin went back to the bandsaw, tested it with his other thumb.
Oh my god!
No. Had to go back to the hospital for another set of stitches. He wasn't allowed near anything other than sandpaper for the rest of semester. I'm surprised he even got access to sandpaper. I wonder if he would be like, oh, hey, does this grind things? And then just start grinding his thumbprint off or something like that.
Oh my god.
I'm already in
Listen,
physical pain.
The first time was stupid, but you think you learn from that. This next Reddit post is from Nightcrawler Ben, coaching Kevina. I used to be a swim coach and always got stuck with the little kids ages 7 to 10. The hardest part seemed to be keeping their heads above water so they could listen to the instructions. This was pretty hard when I had 6 kids to a lane and we were at the deep end. One day while I was coaching at the deep end, I noticed Kevina kept going underwater and making faces at me. I sent the other kids off and I had her go last so I could tell her in private to pay attention and keep her head above water while I'm talking. She nodded her head and continued swimming. Once I made it back to the deep end and I started talking, she went under and flipped me the bird. She came up and started laughing over me and I paused. Everyone looked at her and she said, "He'll never know what I was doing." Continuing her laughter, I snapped back with, "I can see what everyone does underwater. Water is see-through," addressing the whole group. Some kids laughed and Kevina stopped. Apparently, Kevina thought water was only see-through if you were in it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
How do you look down and be like, ah, yes, I can't see anything? Isn't the first thing you do going into a body of water is looking down into it as
Really,
you plunge?
do you have self-awareness?
Bro doesn't have any awareness, let alone self. Our next Reddit post is by Wrath11. Kevina can't read gas gauge. I think my best friend may be a Kevina. Recently, I went to visit my friend and spend a week with her and her parents at the lake house. She picked me up from the airport and we drove several hours to get to the lake house. I remember having a fleeting thought on the drive that we have to be getting low on gas due to the sheer amount of time we were driving. I brushed it off and we made it to our destination no problem. The next morning, her dad asked for the keys so he could drive to town to pick up groceries. He left and came back 2 minutes later, stating that the car didn't have enough gas for the 10-minute drive into town. He also asked Kevina how we made it all the way from the airport without getting gas. I kid you not, Kevina looked her dad straight in the eye and said, "Dad, what do you mean? The car has a half tank. I checked multiple times since we left the airport and it's still sitting half full." Her dad, completely dumbfounded, looks at her and says, "Jesus Christ. You were looking at the oil temperature the whole time, weren't you?" Spoiler alert, she was. She thought the oil temp gauge was the gas gauge and didn't notice the blurring low gas light at any point in the drive. Wow, you've got to be stupid. They have icons too. One of them is literally a gas pump icon, and one of them is like wavy hot oil pan or something like that. I don't know, that's just what I call it.
Maybe a hot oil fan.
I don't know. I'm not a professional with cars. Clearly good enough to know what the fuck a gas gauge is. Our next Reddit post is by CWU007. Alright, can you read now, Beanie?
No. Kevin and Kevina, read the screen. So this is another story involving my Flat Earth Kevin employee.
Oh no.
60-something male. What? There's also a Kevina, 50-something female in this story. She's also one of my employees. She's not as bad as Kevin, however, she's not very bright and lacks a lot of common sense. As her supervisor, 38 female, I've had to show her the same everyday task over and over. Along with that, I've had to explain to her multiple times why she needs to stop claiming certain tasks that she will not do. I even showed her the immediate consequence. She still does it and doesn't understand. On to the story. Setting is a retail drugstore chain, the photo department. In our photo department, there is a large printer that prints fancy items, mostly cards. I came back from lunch to see Kevin and Kevina panicking over the large printer. The printer is making a bang bang sound. That is a glorious way to describe the sound.
That sounds like last night.
What? Kevin is randomly pushing buttons. Kevina is randomly opening doors and slots trying to get the sound to stop. I know what the sound indicates, and there is also a screen where the buttons are. The screen tells us everything that's going on with the machine. They see me and frantically tell me they think the machine is broken. It's been doing this since I left for lunch. My lunch is half an hour long. I tell them both to step back. I then point to the screen and ask them what it says. Both notice that it says tray 3 empty. In a firm voice, I ask, what should you have done? Kevina has a look of oops on her face. Kevin responds, I didn't see that. I ask Kevin if he bothered to look. Kevina responds, but the banging. I think the machine is broken. I explain that the bang bang sound happens when the machine is trying to print, but it is out of paper. I go on to explain that the first few warning bangs are okay, but if it continues, in which Kevina did by opening the doors and slots, it could damage the machine. Kevina gets me the paper for tray 3. I fill it to finish out the order. I do an inspection and nothing appears to be damaged. Imagine how a whole half hour of panic could have been avoided if Kevin and Kevina had just read the screen.
I think reading takes too much from people. All of our bloopers are perfect examples of all of this.
It took me like maybe 5 minutes to read this entire post because I'm so tired and can't read apparently.
You never could read.
A!
B.
C!
D's nuts.
Oh my god.
Haha, ball joke. Alright, this next Reddit post is by Queasy Butterfly 335. Kevin and the party. Kevin, ex-fiance, told me one Friday afternoon, after work, that we had a 21st birthday party to attend that night. We had both just finished up our long shifts at work, and he was getting dressed in jeans and a polo top. I quickly brushed my hair, threw on some jeggings and a knit top, and we jumped in the car to head off. I told him we can't just go empty-handed, so he stopped to buy a bottle of wine and a bunch of flowers on the way. As we were getting closer, he asked me to get the invite out of the glove box and tell him the address. It was at this point that I saw a very fancy invite, which stated the dress code was formal. I said, hey, this invite says the dress code is formal. Kevin, yeah, I saw that. We're not dressed for the party. We need to go back home and change. Nah, we're fine, and we're almost there. He doesn't listen to me. He insists that what we're wearing is fine, it's just a birthday party. He also tells me that he got invite almost 2 months prior and that he'd been meaning to tell me about it earlier, but forgot. Long story short, we arrive at the venue, a very fancy ballroom type venue, in a prestigious club. I am the only girl not in stunning floor-length gown, and he is the only man not in a tuxedo. I was mortified and kept apologizing. Kevin didn't seem fazed by it at all. A few weeks later, I heard that Kevin had told people that I had never told him it was a formal event, and that is why we turned up dressed casually. Wow. I see why he's the ex now. He's just dumb and backstabbing.
Alright, this last Reddit post is from Random Wildebeest. My sister, the Kevin. I found this subreddit and it's perfect for my sister. I lived with her for 16 years and had to babysit her despite being younger. For what? You're the younger sibling but had to babysit. You know what? Maybe there's a reason. Let me keep my mouth shut and keep reading. That's contradictory.
You're on a roll, honey.
I lived with her for 16 years and had to babysit her despite being younger for all of those. We are both adults now, so she's on her own. Let me go down the list of some of her greatest hits. Oh boy, this is a whole Pop 2K playlist type shit. She got MRSA. What is that?
That's a good question. MRSA.
It sounds like a disease of some kind.
It is. It's an infection. Methicillin-resistant staphylococcus aureus. It's an infection.
She got MRSA because the house she was living in ran out of toilet paper and thought the next best thing to use was the bathroom cleaning sponge.
Oh, that could not feel good.
Oh no. A few years prior to that incident, she got a very infection downstairs. What? Because once again ran out of toilet paper and thought it would be okay to use a washcloth, which is fine once, but she used this. Ew. Which is fine once, but she used the same one continually, so she wouldn't have to buy more toilet paper.
Ew.
Ugh. At least wash it. Like between uses. What is wrong with you? She got her driver's license confiscated at a Chuck E. Cheese because she went to get a gift card there and they asked if she was there to pick up a kid. She has no kids. She panicked and said yes for some reason. And they needed her ID until she returned with her kid and showed them a code. She obviously had no code and wandered aimlessly for a bit, panicked when someone asked her if she needed help, and then ran out while crying. She never got the ID back. Oh my god! She somehow got shit on the ceiling when she had diarrhea.
That's impressive. That reminds me when I managed to piss on the ceiling of our shower when I was a kid. Don't ask how that happened. I've never been able to recreate it.
She complimented someone's shirt and they jokingly said, "Thanks, you can have it." And then she asked, "So should we go to the bathroom and trade?" And the girl looked horrified. There's more, but this is all I can think of for now. She recognizes that she does weird things and always prefaces her stories with, "So I did something really embarrassing today." Well, at least she's like mostly self-aware. I can't get over the Chuck E. Cheese one.
Yeah, I've got a
Imagine
kid.
having no kids
Leaves.
and then panicking because you just said yes. Alright, well that has been our stories about Kevin. These guys are really stupid.
I hope your
like this
brain cell
subreddit.
count didn't fall to the amount of brain cells that these Kevins and Kevinas collectively have, which is probably about 3.5.
I have like 2 on a good day. So
Oh, so that's where mine went.
Mom said it's my turn with the brain cells.
If you guys like this content and you want to see more of it, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel a whole hell of a lot. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!
Bye!
And now, Dust Bunny bloopers. If you've never heard of this subreddit...
Tough shit, I guess.
One of them was a 20 degree. It's a cold one. For those of you who don't know what a bandsaw is, it's a loop of metal saw.
A loop of metal saw.
It's not really that wrong. For those of you who don't know what a metal band.
Metallica.
Ah! Hold up. I feel it. There it goes. All right, we
Bless
can continue.
you.
I remember feeling the fleet fuck.
Feeling the fleet fuck. You can't go telling everybody about our activities, Ash.
it gives them fuel for things that they might draw. I don't know.
Oh, stop it, stop it, stop it.